G'day folks, Mike from Melbourne Live Music here, checking out the music scene in New York City. Now, New York is also very popular for film and TV locations, so I've decided to compile my list of the best ones, the emphasis being on comedy, action, sci-fi, that sort of thing, not so much the Empire State Building and Sleepless in Seattle, rom-coms, that sort of thing. So with that, here's my pick of the best film and TV locations in New York City. Grand Central Station, known for its amazing, beautiful concourse, it is America's third busiest train station. Now, what would you think is the one thing that a major train station couldn't do without? A tennis court. The Vanderbilt tennis courts are actually inside the Grand Central Terminal building on the 4th floor. Now, they were originally an art gallery and were bought in 1966 by a Hungarian guy who turned them into 2 ski slopes and a tennis court. Now just the tennis courts are here. Now, what does this have to do with the movies? Well, Marvel fans will be interested to know that the view from one of the windows was used to film the alien invasion scene in the Avengers movie. Okay, I'm at the corner of West 122nd and Malcolm X Boulevard, otherwise known as Lennox Boulevard, and I'm here at the front of a place called Dapper Dan Gucci, who that's another story, but basically the premises you see behind me used to be a restaurant that was featured in the filming of American Gangster starring Denzel Washington, where he played Frank Lucas, the famous drug dealer. But the story goes that Frank Lucas was sitting in this restaurant eating his lunch, looked up, saw one of his enemies across the road, got up, went out, shot him in the head, and went back and continued eating his lunch as if nothing had happened, as was depicted in the movie. Now, one of the big scenes in John Wick was the Continental Hotel, which was kind of like Assassin Central. Now, that was actually shot in 2 locations. The exterior was shot here at the Beaver Building near Wall Street, and the interior was shot just up the road along Beaver Street at Delmonico's. Delmonico's is a pretty fancy fine dining restaurant that's been at this location since 1926. Now, being a bit of a high-class establishment, I don't think I'm going to get any shots of the interior, but it does look pretty cool. I'm here at the Hoyt-Schermerhorn subway station, which was used to film a scene in Crocodile Dundee where he's stuck out at the end of a crowded subway platform and his love interest comes in down the steps and yells, "I love you," and he's got to walk over people's heads to get to her. Now, it was depicted in the film as being in Manhattan. It's not, it's out here in Brooklyn. And it was also used for Michael Jackson's Bad video, which featured a young up-and-coming actor by the name of Wesley Snipes. The Friends apartment building in West Village. It's just an apartment building. Who you're going to call? The Hook and Ladder number 8 fire station, which was the headquarters in the original Ghostbusters film. Now, what most people don't realise is that it is, and always has been, a working fire station, which is why the interior shots were done in a studio in LA. Now, it's called the Hook and Ladder number 8 because it was built in 1903 by the Hook and Ladder Fire Company, which was a privately owned company that was kind of a precursor to the New York Fire Department. The city actually tried to close it down in 2010, and it was kept open by a public campaign led by, among other people, the actor Steve Buscemi, because before he was an actor, he was a New York firefighter. Who can forget the first Men in Black film? Now, in the film, the Men in Black headquarters was depicted as this stark concrete building, and it's this thing right behind me, the ventilation building for the Battery Brooklyn Tunnel, which connects Brooklyn with Lower Manhattan. Better get out of here before they neuralize me.
I am just a figment of your imagination.
Now, speaking of Men in Black, I'm out here at Queens at the site of the New York State Pavilion and the Unisphere. The Unisphere was built in 1964 as part of the New York's World Fair to signify the space age and We're all one planet, that sort of thing. Now in Men in Black, you may remember, the alien spacecraft takes off, is shot down, and it crashes right through this whole object, completely destroying it. So thankfully that was just CGI. Now, if you look just over here, you will also see the observation towers, again built in 1964 as part of the New York World Fair, and people could go up to the top and get a 360-degree panoramic view of the whole World Fair. Now in the movie, the top of one of those things was actually a flying saucer, which the bad guys used to escape and crashed into the Unisphere just over there. Monk's Cafe, where the characters from Seinfeld all used to hang out. In reality, it's called Tom's Restaurant, and has been owned and operated by the Zulus family since the 1940s. The building that it's part of is actually part of Columbia University's Space Center. Now, the building is actually famous for three reasons. One, Seinfeld, obviously, and it was also the inspiration for Suzanne Vega's song Tom's Diner. And thirdly, when Barack Obama was studying at Columbia University, he used to eat here. No suit for you. Who can forget the suit Nazi from Seinfeld? The suit Nazi was based on a guy called Al Yagama, who ran Suit Kitchen International that used to be based at this spot here on West 55th Street. Now, he got the suit Nazi idea, did Seinfeld, because Yagama absolutely lived and breathed soup and had all these rules, heaps of rules about how you could behave and how you could pay inside his shop. Now, that actually closed down in, I think, 2000 something, and he went on to start this whole chain called the Original Soup Man, and it started up a new branch of Original Soup Man right here. So let's go check it out. I'm going to have to watch to escape. Now, a lot of you Law and Order fans out there will probably remember Detective Lenny Briscoe, who was portrayed by the actor Jerry Orbach. Now, Jerry Orbach had spent a lot of time on Broadway as a leading man, and that in recognition of his services to acting in general, they named this section of 53rd Street after him and renamed it Jerry Orbach Way. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little list of film and TV locations in New York City. If you can think of any other cool film and TV locations that I haven't listed here, feel free to add them in the comments, and I'll see you next time.